Wait. Something just happened. Do I look like a dairymaid to you? Yes, thanks for asking. How are you feeling? Sleep well?
Geralt? Are you on the Isle yet? Does the Xenovox work? Can you hear me? What did you say? There's some interference. You must be very careful.
Oh, please. I merely seized an opportunity. Ho ho. And I always took you for a gentleman. Oh, Geralt. Shame you didn't talk that way when we fucked. Yen won't either when I tell her. Or Triss. Sorry, lost track of who you're currently obsessed with. I shall give you herbs. Mix them with water drawn from the spring at midnight, then make the cow drink them. But first you must clean out your barn. Thoroughly. Is that clear? I can assure you I do. Now more than ever. Enough. I've had my fill for the day. Go home. I'll wait for you here. In that case, we'll meet there. I'll await you near the cave entrance. Oh, really? Who? Well, I tried to ask him, of course, about everything. Someone's been feeding you horse shit. The girls around here are too stupid to quarrel with me. Where? Hope you didn't come to Gork. Turn around and wait. I didn't pick anything. In the north, Radovid's men hunt sorceresses like fish in a barrel. Nilfgaard controls the south. Where was I to flee? Radovid and Emma differ in every respect except one. They share a deep hatred of the Lodge of Sorceresses. And I was a member. Cyrilla is here. The girl once sought by the Lodge of Sorceresses, and practically every ruler on the continent has landed here in Velen, and I know nothing of it. What is she doing here? The girl crossed half the world to get here. Care to tell me what this is about? There it goes. I'm so pleased the world's still able to astound you, Geralt. I actually envy you that sense of wonder. Common in children, knights-errant, and morons. Let me think. Enjoying the country air? Admiring the unspoilt scenery? Or is it furthering the age-old alliance between the city and its breadbasket? No, I'm in hiding, Geralt. Blind to the state of the world? Don't you see what's happening? Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Radovid's new pastime. Pursuing anyone with a whiff of magic about them. Witch hunters. Sound familiar? Murderers scouring the north from end to end, burning books, hanging soothsayers, torturing herbalists.
A pester? And did you learn how to lift the curse before you lunged at her, sword in hand? I know the man. He lives in Oriton, village on the lakeshore.
She did indeed. I gather you'd like a look. The villagers say he had them poisoned.
Look, Geralt, stop. You needn't be so detailed. What was that? It sounded for a moment like you joined the wraiths yourself.
All right. Perhaps I wasn't completely honest. Didn't quite toe the line. But I knew you'd manage. You're so manly and all. Geralty poo. Wipe that frown off your face, or I might think you don't like me anymore. I need neither your permission nor your blessing. Get out. No, strictly selfish ones. Whatever do you mean? Don't be ridiculous. Bacteria cannot be controlled. In theory, it's just as possible for a dachshund to impregnate a she-wolf. He'll make an exception for me. He'll have to. I have something he wants. Well, you believe Yennefer will stop treating you like a dog someday. Don't see me laughing. I'm going to see Radovid, tell him of this research, whether you like it or not. Yes, that's exactly what I want. So stop lecturing me and leave me alone. Farewell and a pleasant journey to you. Cute. Thank you, I guess. All the best to you as well. What of it? What difference will it make if Nilfgaard's legions die by steel or because of some fucking germs? None. I'll not give you these notes. I'll not give you anything. We're done talking, Geralt. Get out of my sight. Then you shall stay here forever. Shove your sarcasm up your arse. See this? Bedbugs, Geralt. Bloody bedbugs. I, Keira Metz, advisor to Foltest, a member of the Lodge of Sorceresses, have bedbugs. You believe I'd be safe there? They truly did leave you heartless. Get out of my sight. Farewell, Geralt of Rivia. I truly hope you find your Ciri. Shut up and draw your sword.
Geralt, can you hear me? How goes it? Where are you? Where are you? Have you got to the laboratory at the top of the tower yet? Search it thoroughly. Then you've not reached the highest level. Look for a passage.
Well, I never met him, but he certainly didn't seem such a cruel man, judging by what a mage from the Isle told me. Yet even those who escaped the Isle soon suffered agonizing deaths. Strangely, they did not seem to have been poisoned. We were friends. Sadly, he died that day as well. Very few survived. The rats, why did he need them? Did you see what he did with them?
Find him immediately. We're close to unraveling this. I can feel it.
Unbelievable. Have you even been listening to me? Yennefer was right. You do have some notion of what women want, how they think. So much tramping over mountain paths, you're lucky I made it. This is the place. I do wonder if the two of you will hit it off. I believe I greeted you with a pleasant view. Now tell me what brings you here. My rate rises with every word you speak. I'm not sure you can afford the information anymore. It's nothing to sneeze at, but you've a knack for getting into trouble. I should probably ask for something more immediately deliverable. Nature stinks. Oh, sod it, don't give me that look. I know it's Ciri we're talking about. None. We can't know too much about one another these days. It's safer that way. I've wanted to many times. But I've no way of knowing who would answer, or who might be listening. Horrid. They'd respect anyone who could produce hemorrhoid cream, long enough for rot to set in. You cannot possibly imagine how much I detest this place. Lit up like a charm. 4 guardians, 4 flames standing proud in a line. The first to light his fire dared not march on the end. You're up to something, Geralt. If I'm to help you, you must tell me what's going on. Who are you looking for? Ciri? Well, now I understand the secrecy, not to mention the brooding, the furled brow. And you say she had some sort of problem with a witch? I'm certain I haven't. But recently someone asked me about an ashen-haired woman. He claimed she would stand out from the peasant crowd. Not so fast, Geralt. No humble plea, no offering for the witch. Yes, let's. At last. But it was worth it, right? You learned something about Ciri in the end. Something important. Do you intend to venture into Crookback Bog? You must tell me about it afterwards. Geralt, there are 2 types of men. Those who see opportunity and take advantage, and those who forge the opportunities themselves. I've always seen you as an example of the latter. Besides, I've a favour to ask you. So, visit me sometime? In that case, I shall be waiting. The second, beside the first, played a woeful lament. The third kept close to his faithful beast. The fourth marched not beside the first, yet like the second played a tune. And thus they stood o'er their queen, who slept beneath flickering stars. No, I was hoping the elf would return as he'd promised, or else his waif would appear. At any rate, I've no idea what to expect from this place. Crookback Bog. Do you really believe you can call me names and then revert to polite conversation just like that? Get out of my sight, before I give in to my urge to teach you some manners. The mighty would pay willingly for such a remedy. Can you imagine how much? Take Radovid, for instance. Why, he might even consider forgetting my past associations with the Lodge. I don't have time to debate this, Geralt. I'm going to see Radovid whether you like it or not. Shut up for a moment and look at me. Think what you will, but I'll not stay in this bloody swamp one day more, not one day. I shall cross the Pontar, and that means Radovid's men will find me sooner or later. Don't you understand? I don't have a choice. I will have to parley. I long to be there already. See you, Geralt. Naturally, you suspect me of the worst. I don't deserve that. My intentions are pure, like a virgin's tears. Alexander was studying the Catriona plague. I'll use his notes to produce medication, perhaps a cure, or at least a vaccine. Why, I aim to use them to continue important work that a man's tragic death put on hold. All right, take them already. Farewell, Geralt. Or rather, see you soon. I did, and still do. The Cursed Isle on Lake Windammer, you've heard of it, I'm sure. Not too long, I trust. If you've any questions, prepared to help after all? That's what I don't know. I must break this spell, yet I've been unable to identify its source. I'm not, the local peasantry is. The Isle, miss, you've got to lift the charm. You're a good witch, a great witch. There's no end to it. I failed to lift the curse and they could conclude I'm not so great. Not enough to conceal me from the witch hunters and risk getting sent to the gallows themselves. The point is, listen, I didn't flee to these wilds just to stupidly get caught because some boar with grit under his fingernails grows annoyed with me. Scraps. The curse is somehow linked to the tower where Serard, the lord of these lands, took refuge when Nilfgaard invaded. Claims in the village are that peasants, desperate of hunger, sailed to Fyke Isle to beg for food. Met their end there. It was a massacre. Ugh. So, will you please help me lift this curse? You're so good at these things. You needn't even rub. Just place it where you find bones and hear whispers. I suppose I should warn you, it might not be the most pleasant experience. You'll need to do neither. I'll give you a Xenovox. It's a bauble that will let us speak over some distance. You will tell me what you see, and I shall tell you what to do and look for. I knew you'd find it irresistible. Naturally, you'll need to sail to Fyke Isle. Well, the spirits who wander the Isle, you must establish a rapport with them. Don't know how, but they could point us in the direction of the curse's source. Of course, provided you take my magic lamp with you. It works just like a megascope, but is far more portable. Think of it as a magic box that talks. Extremely. That's why they're so rare. I certainly couldn't build anything like it. Not the slightest. No, that is all. Oh, go already. I can't wait to see what you discover on Fyke Isle. Just be sure to come and see me afterwards. And Geralt. Thank you. Found it in the mine along with the lamp. Thought it was part of the lamp at first. Didn't realise what I'd actually found until later. Clearly. And I didn't even know the elves used them. The local peasants mumble incessantly about it, about the wraiths that haunt it. They claim none who go there return. I shall let you keep it afterwards in appreciation. You'll find it quite useful, I'm sure. I tried to go to Fyke Isle once. Thought my head would burst, the curse's magic was so strong. I experienced an acute nasal hemorrhage. You stand to endure a wobble of your medallion at most. Take my boat. I left it on the lake shore near the village. Should be fit to use, provided rot hasn't eaten it, as it seems to eat everything here. At Aretusa, they trained me to detect even the subtlest magic pulses. This was like getting smacked across my haunches with a grain flail. Able to persuade Graham to go to the tower with you? Did you mention there was a pester involved? And? It ended well? Oh, poor boy. Still, he's proved that true love may be more common than some suppose. As I said, you may keep it. I don't believe I shall need it anymore given the Isle's been cleansed. I actually regret not going there with you. Perhaps we can make up for that lost time now. And you failed to notice. You're losing your touch. Be that as it may, Fyke Isle is free of its curse. That's important. I'm almost inclined to say good work. And you withheld this news until now. Why? I gave you a Xenovox. But the curse, what was its source? So it ended well. You just witnessed why. To communicate with lost souls. There's nothing wrong with it. We traded for it. He needed powerful magic and sensed I was no common wart charmer. I brewed him a potion. To delay nervous tissue degeneration, stave off memory loss or some such. He didn't say. Never expected you'd take such an interest in my private life. Oh, we had little in common in that arena. Oh, Alexander was one of those anxious experimenters, forever short on sleep. The kind that thinks perfect happiness is an isolated tower and a full set of vials and alembics. What? Phantom riders? That means... I thought they didn't exist. I'd rather teleport us home. Do you really mean to follow them? Ready. Follow me. Ah! Greetings, Geralt. Ah! Geralt, do something! They're crawling out of those holes! Thank you. There's something here. Something that distorts teleportation. I've no idea how they managed to get to the other side problem-free. Come here! We must close them! I'll do it! Just cover me! Darian and Annoy! I'm beginning to think we might make it. Geralt, I shall help you. They destroyed the mage's sentries. They didn't come here for a friendly chat with the elf. Come on! Are you coming? Look, we've managed to cross the bridge. This is where we saw the wild hunt. He must have left it somewhere here. Why do we even come? We're certain to find something here. It worked.
Hey, Nicola!
It'll pass. That took a great deal of power. Looks like another damned riddle to me. It worked. Seems we did something wrong. Show me. 4 statues, each like the other. Doesn't help, does it? May I be honest? Had I known what would happen here, I'd never have come anywhere near Keira Metz. Come on. This is awkward. I mean, I'd gladly help, but I have a few more things to tend to in this charming dunghole. Perhaps, if you were to help me first, you know where to find me? There must be another entrance. I'd bet more than coin on it. The elven mage surely had some sort of a shortcut. I've an idea, but I need a witcher to help me see it through. Lambert has agreed to assist me. We're even now. I'm glad I could help, but I shall leave as soon as Lambert feels better. They can have 3 helmsmen and a parrot for all I care. I'll not risk that again. Have you gone completely mad? We must leave here at once. But we came to find the elven mage, not fight the hunt. Go on, finish. Wait, you've got some special interest in the hunt. Is this about Ciri? There's something you've not told me, isn't there? But what does the hunt want from him? There's no guarantee the wild hunt is going the right way. Meaning he knew they were looking for him. The potion I gave him. Seems he saw a use for it. Drank it. You can't leave me here. Now, in your firm embrace. Not on your life. I know. We must go on. Perhaps because the wild hunt was on the elf's trail, and Ciri would be safer if they did. It's good to see you again. I'm sorry for your loss, Geralt. I started off heading in the opposite direction, but then turned around. There are times when a woman should simply not explain her decision. That goes doubly for sorceresses. Is that so? Nice to hear. But is there any particular reason you're telling me this?
Azar, Anatha, Velos!
What? All the mages knew about it. Alexander was a highly regarded epidemiologist. I would have given anything for an opportunity to study his notes, but he guarded them jealously. Perhaps you'd stay just a bit longer? There's one small favour you might yet do for me. I put in an order for a few substances from Novigrad. The trader was due to be here yesterday but has yet to arrive. Could you see what happened? The package is rather important to me. Thank you. I shall be ever so grateful. Oh, you're definitely no boy. You're a strong, poised witcher who will surely help a woman in need. That is all I ask. Look, it worked! I've a bad feeling about this. That's him! That's the elf! It was an elf, this individual who asked about Cirilla. No flea-bitten Scoia'tael slob either, but an elven mage. He didn't. And he wore a mask. Very secretive all around, but I liked him. He was intelligent and composed. Only that they were to meet in Velen. He wished to know if she'd arrived before he did. But you know how elves are. He asked many more questions than he answered. He awaits us. No, but he asked that were I to meet her, I should lead her to him. Yes, he said he'd found a hideout in some elven ruins near the village of Midcopse. I'll go there with you. I've unfinished business with this elf. He promised me something, but he never delivered it. Besides, I know you think as I do, that she might be there. And I'd like to see Cirilla too. Of course we did. The entrance is very well protected. I'd never have found it from the outside. Geralt, just when I was starting to miss you. Well, we know they were well acquainted and travelling together. No, a morphotic projection. Indeed, it is what the elves would title Ciri. But what was the bit about the sign of her sword, a riddle? Come now, who aside from you would know that? Something akin to a postbox for mages. Much safer than an ordinary letter, which anyone can intercept en route to its recipient. But I didn't say... Well, I had no idea you meant them. If I'd told you something, you would have rushed off to find them. But we needed first to confirm that Ciri was here, didn't we? I shall tell you everything now, of course. I can't believe you'd think so poorly of me. Perhaps you do bear a grudge against sorceresses. I've never met them, but I've read of them. In an old manuscript I found in one of the huts in the village. It mentions the village witches venturing into Crookback Bog at times to liaise between the villagers and the crones, the ladies of the wood. The crones appear to be intolerant of outsiders, but they help the local folk, Apparently, they stopped the spread of the plague in Velen. I'd love to shrug it off as the nattering of so many old women, yet throughout my first fortnight in Velen, I had horrible nightmares. Something was calling me out into the swamps. One night, I decided to enter the dream consciously, render it lucid. I confronted the thing directly. It broke contact at once. Peaceful nights ever since. The swamps are vast, dangerous, but they say the crones mark the way for peasants who wish to visit them. The manuscript mentions a chapel in Crookback Bog, and from that chapel one must follow a trail of treats. Of course. They didn't read you bedtime stories at Kaer Morhen. All normal folk know that witches live in gingerbread houses poised atop chicken legs.
Ah! Whose grave is it? What do you think? No inscription, sadly. Perhaps it's a monument to her. Perhaps the elven mage is Lara's kin. It would explain why he's helping Ciri. Let's go. 4 guardians, 4 flames, standing proud in a line. The first to light his fire dared not march on the end. The second, by the first, played a woeful lament. The third kept close to his faithful beast. The fourth marched not beside the first, yet, like the second, played a tune.
Over here!
Are you well and whole? I feared...
Geralt! Geralt!
Well, now I know what distorted my effort at teleportation. This very portal. I wonder what all this means. They look hastily scribbled on with lime.
Ah! You tend to the monsters. I'll be able to keep them away from me.
And thus they stood o'er their queen, who slept beneath flickering stars. Uh-huh. Oh, changed your mind, have you?
You were supposed to help me. Geralt!
I hope I'll be able to activate it. Let's leave this place, shall we? Give me a minute. I was never any good at the high variant of the Elder speech. All right. This might seem a bit literal. I'm afraid I can't replicate its sophisticated internal rhymes. It's a long way, well beyond the dividing line. But if I keep to the woods until I reach the Kestrel Mountains, I should pass through unnoticed. So be it. Seems I find it hard to refuse you, handsome. You've clearly a notion of what women want, how they think. Good name for a horse. So, shall we look for it?
Must you touch everything?
Look, it's rather similar to that other pillar with the projection.
Geralt.
Geralt, I don't know what you did, but it worked. Come back here. Let's go.
Get them off! Ah! Ugh, it's disgusting!
Kelpie? Does he mean that sea monster? I was wondering how long it would take you, Geralt. Greetings, Witcher.
Look, they're opening. How many centuries can he have? This elf must be utterly paranoid. Use a sign or bombs, anything.
All right, where's that swallow?
All right, then. As a start, let's look for a way out of here.
It's an illusion. I sensed it as well. The Eye of Nahalani. It dispels illusions. It's easy enough to build, so you're welcome to this one. It's bound to come in handy. Simple, isn't it? Splendid. Come then. Of course I can. Best of luck to you. Do you feel that? A flow of fresh air from the left. Must be an exit that way. If I can find it, that is. Will you help? Look, the elf left another message for Ciri. I expected we might run into such things, so I brought this. And each time it does, you will think of me. Wait, there's still the magic lamp. Lamp. The elf promised it to me in exchange for my help. And since his return here seems doubtful, I must retrieve it myself.
I hate rats!
He failed to foresee that someone like you would show up. Well then, let's go. Do you think following the swallows will suffice? Stop it, that's emotional blackmail. You? I'd be concerned for myself.
Very well, have it your way. How did I ever let you talk me into this ridiculous expedition?
Are you always like this? I'm beginning to feel sorry for Triss and Yen.
Very well, let's move on. Perhaps we'll come across some clue, some trace left by this elf.
Perhaps it's best he didn't leave a clearer message. The Wild Hunt broke in here, surely they saw the projection. I'm upstairs. Don't be shy. Thought you were in a hurry. Well, coming?
Geralt!
Not sure I like any of this. How about that? You changed your mind. Hardly. Now, focus. We must activate it quickly. I've a feeling another golem's about to surprise us.
There you are. At last. Certainly hope we haven't lost our way. I dislike this place. Vehemently.
Ugh, anything for a hot bath.
The sooner we can leave, the better.
Disgusting! Do you know the diseases they spread? Exterminate them, I beg you!
It's grown awfully quiet. You'd never have managed without me, would you? Come now, admit it. A bit like the calm before a storm.
Good thing I came with you.
Take the tome and read it. I truly do believe you'll find your Cyrilla. Oh, very well. Let's go.
Geralt, what the hell is that? Do you think it's a mind game of some sort? Perhaps these apparitions believe they are real. It worked. Come.
Of course. The elven mage prepared this passage for Ciri. Come on now.
Geralt, are you all right?
Anything like that ever happened to you before? Yes. And? Stop telling me what to do. We must try to activate it. You should be pleased you emerged from the portal in one piece.
What is this? They're too far. We must get closer. I shall shield us with Demetia Crest's surge. Stand at my side.
Ready. Stay close. Leave it to me.
Come, we might still catch them.
An old elven port. I hardly need instruction from you. I recognised the Vulpine Morel immediately. Expect me to splash around in that sewage? Unlikely. I'll wait here. How is the water? A swallow. Seems we're headed the right way. And that would be that. I knew we'd manage. Once you finally find Ciri, what will you do? Any plans? Imagined it? How it will transpire? What will she say? What will she look like?
Uh-oh. You know, can you defeat yourself? Are you willing to?
I'm sorry for getting ahead of myself. At times I forget. My intuition's a fine instrument, Witcher. Don't underestimate it. I've some very good feelings about you, for instance. In several domains, we hardly know each other. Certainly not enough to discuss personal matters. And more. I wonder how long ago that was. Terrible idea. What happened? If I'm to die today, I wish to look smashing for the occasion. Women only ever beautify themselves for their own satisfaction.
Leave my dresser alone. Geralt, look! He's opening a passage. Another rift. If I've my knickers on straight, this looks like the elves' laboratory.
Splendid. I shall contact you again soon. One way only, I'm afraid. You'll have to trust my feminine intuition. My feminine intuition!
More so than Velen, but that's hardly an achievement.